Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take your source material articles, research, maybe even your own notes, and really cut through all the noise.
Yeah, get straight to the point.
Exactly. We're here to pull out those key, actionable insights, the stuff that helps you get genuinely well-informed, find those surprising facts, and hopefully keep you hooked along the way. Today, we're definitely not dipping our toes in. We're going straight into the deep end with A.Cordero's ebook, The Law of Accumulation, Make Every Choice Count. And let's be really clear up front.
Yeah, no sugarcoating here.
None. This isn't about making you feel warm and fuzzy. It's a stark, kind of unvarnished look at a fundamental truth. Every single choice, no matter how small it seems, it really does impact your life's path, relentlessly.
It's direct. Very direct.
It is. So our mission for you, our listener, it's pretty straightforward. We want to unpack this maybe uncomfortable truth, really expose the weight of, individual accountability.
Absolutely, taking ownership.
And give you concrete, actual strategies, things you can do. This isn't about just thinking about the future you want.
No intention-setting fluff.
Right. It's about stopping the waste, ending the excuses, and getting, tangible results. We're moving way beyond just good intentions here.
That really nails it. A.Cordero, much like we try to do here, pulls zero punches.
Yeah.
The core idea in the law of accumulation, it sounds simple, but wow, it hits hard.
What is it? Distilled down.
It's basically this quote: life doesn't care about your excuses, your feelings, or your intentions. It's a ledger, and every move you make is either a deposit or a withdrawal.
A ledger. Okay.
Yeah. This book, it's just not interested in, political correctness or validating how you feel or digging into past issues.
Right.
Its focus is pure practical wisdom, real-world impact, getting you off the bench and actually doing something. It demands focus on what actually moves the needle.
And that's where those aha moments start kicking in, right? Because the real power isn't how it all adds up, the compounding effect.
Exactly. You're going to find out, and it might be a bit uncomfortable, how those tiny choices you make every day,
Yeah.
the ones you don't even think about,
Yeah, the autopilot stuff.
they accumulate slowly, almost invisibly, but they build into massive outcomes, huge ones.
Good or bad?
Good or bad depends entirely on which side of that ledger you keep feeding. So this isn't just about knowing stuff intellectually. It's about being practically changed by understanding this relentless, kind of unforgiving law, the core principle, understanding the ledger of life.
Okay, so let's cut right to it. This core idea, the law of accumulation, what does it actually mean day to day? Because honestly, most of us think there's a neutral gear, right? A posting mode.
Yeah, and that's the big myth the book just tears down right away. At its absolute core, the law of accumulation says there is no neutral ground.
None.
Not at all. Every single thing you do, every action, every decision, no matter how tiny it seems right then, it's either a step toward your goals or it's a step away.
No in between.
No holding pattern, no pause button. It's always one or the other, progress or regress.
Okay. And the ledger analogy, how does that work?
Cordero uses it brilliantly. Think of your life like a strict accounting book. Every action is an entry. If it moves you closer to what you really want, maybe financial freedom, a stronger body, a valuable skill, a better relationship, then it's a credit, a deposit into your future self's account. But, and this is where it gets, a bit confronting, if the action pulls you away. If it's a distraction, procrastination, choosing comfort now over reward later.
Then it's a debit.
Absolutely. A withdrawal from your limited time, your energy, your potential. It's gone.
The book gives examples, right, to make it less abstract.
Oh, yeah. It's very concrete. Take a Netflix binge. Most people say, I'm just relaxing.
Totally. Need to unwind.
But under this law is cold light. It's rarely true relaxation if your goal is building something better. It's a debit. Hours spent, energy used, not moving towards your goals. Passive consumption, not active creation.
Okay. And the flip side?
That early morning workout, when the bed feels amazing, you just want 5 more minutes?
Oh, I know that feeling.
That's a big credit, a clear investment. The critical point the book hammers home again and again is that these small choices aren't small at all in their impact.
Because they compound.
Exactly. They matter because they compound. It's the cumulative effect. Those tiny credits, tiny debits, day after day, they dictate where you end up. Consistently make small debits. They snowball, like credit card debt gone wild.
Wow. That's a powerful image.
It's the silent killer of potential because it feels harmless in the moment.
That ledger analogy really does hit home. It's not abstract at all. So if you look around at your life and it's, not quite right, if you feel stuck, Cordero is basically saying your ledger's in the red.
Brutally clear, yeah.
So what does that look like? What are the symptoms? How do we even know if we're, like, bleeding credits every day without realizing it?
It's remarkably simple, but really uncomfortable for most people to face head on. The blunt reason you're probably losing, according to Cordero, it's straightforward. You spend way more time, energy, and focus on things that don't move the needle.
Than on the things that do.
Precisely. We're talking about distractions creaking in everywhere, mindless scrolling on social media, getting sucked into endless TV shows, gossip, complaining, procrastinating on the important stuff.
Right, the easy stuff.
These aren't just harmless ways to kill time. They're active withdrawals from your life's potential. Every single one is a debit. Every single one.
And the book puts a number on this, right? The cost.
It does, and it doesn't mince words. It points out the average person wastes a, frankly, staggering 4 hours a day just on screens. Screens that offer zero real return.
4 hours every day.
Every single day. Do the math. That's 1,460 hours a year, just gone.
That's huge.
Now, Cordero says, just imagine what you could build with that time. A business, mastering a complex skill, getting a degree, sculpting a body that literally turns heads.
Instead of scroll.
Instead, for so many, that time just vanishes into the digital void, evaporates. And the harsh reality is, this isn't no big deal. It's not a small indulgence. Time is your most valuable currency.
Your life force, basically.
And you're effectively burning it on things with zero ROI for your future. It's the silent killer of dreams because it feels so easy, so benign right when you're doing it.
Wow, 4 hours a day. Laying it out like that, it's more than a gut punch. It's like a knockout. It makes me instantly think, okay, where are my 4 hours going?
And that's the power of Cordero's directness. It forces you to look at your data, not just stats.
Exactly. So given that shocking number, how do we actually start auditing this ledger, as the book calls it? How do we stop the bleeding? What are the first steps out of the red?
Right. This is where it shifts from uncomfortable truth to, well, brutal but essential action. Chapter 1 stuff. First step, audit your day.
Okay.
Take 1 full week, 7 days straight, and track every single hour. Meticulously use a notebook, an app, whatever, but be precise, honest.
To categorize everything.
Everything. Is it a credit moving you towards your goals? Or a debit wasting time, draining energy, pulling you back? And the key word Cordero uses is ruthless.
Ruthless honesty.
No excuses, no sugarcoating. If it doesn't clearly serve your defined purpose, it's a debit, period. This exercise alone is incredibly eye-opening. You'll see where time really goes, not where you think it goes.
I bet most people would be shocked.
Almost guaranteed. It's like finding financial leaks you never knew existed.
Okay, so after the audit, step 2.
Step 2, calculate the cost. Once you have that week of raw data, tally up the total debit hours. How much time did you genuinely waste?
Okay.
Now quantify it. Don't just leave it as hours. Multiply those wasted hours by your hourly value.
What if you don't have an hourly wage?
Estimate. What's your time worth to you? What would you charge someone for an hour of your expertise? Or what's your target hourly rate for the life you want?
Okay. Make it tangible.
Absolutely crucial. It turns wasted time into a concrete, often painful monetary figure. Makes the cost of distraction real, in your face. You're not just wasting time, you're burning money or the potential to earn money.
Right. That hits differently.
As a direct hit to your future earnings.
And the third step in chapter 1.
Set a North Star. This isn't just having a vague wish. It's defining one single, clear, laser-focused goal for the next 6 months.
One goal.
One main goal. Financial, physical, personal mastering a skill, launching a project. Key is singularity and clarity. Once it's set, every action you consider gets judged against it.
A filter.
Exactly. The constant question, does this move me closer or pull me away? It makes the credit-debit distinction stark. Removes ambiguity. Becomes your compass for every choice. 2, stopping the bleed, cutting the debits.
That audit sounds intense, but necessary, like a truth serum. And here's where it gets really interesting because the book makes this bold claim. Our biggest hurdle isn't external stuff, the economy or bad luck.
Right.
It's us, what Cordero calls the enemy within.
Yeah, Cordero is absolutely uncompromising on this.
Yeah.
It's a truth many people try desperately to avoid. The book states, very plainly, no sympathy, that every time you choose comfort, ease, instant gratification, over effort, struggle, long-term gain, you're essentially writing a check you can't afford on that life ledger. It's not about blame or victimhood. It's about owning your choices.
Plain and simple.
And the main culprits,
Yeah.
the time vampires, they're everywhere today. Social media doom scrolling, mindless entertainment, endless streaming, video games, pointless YouTube holes,
Right.
and that vague, casual hanging out that achieves absolutely nothing productive. These aren't small diversions. They actively drain your most precious resource, time.
And erode potential.
Systematically. They don't just kill hours, they block your ability to stack credits, directly hindering progress. The sneaky part is the instant dopamine hit they provide.
Makes you feel good for a second.
Exactly. Tricks your brain. But it's a costly debit, compounding negatively, leaving you feeling stuck.
And this leads right into challenging that whole idea of work-life balance. The book calls it, what was it? A trap for mediocrity.
That's the one.
Expert. That's pretty provocative. For so many people, balance is the goal. How does Cordero justify that? Is he just saying work till you drop? Or is there more nuance?
It's a great question, and it's where this philosophy really diverges from typical self-help. He completely dismantles work-life balance as a goal for anyone aiming for extraordinary results. He argues if you want something exceptional, something beyond average, you simply cannot afford to be balanced in that conventional sense.
Yeah.
You need to be unbalanced, maybe even obsessed with your North Star.
Obsessed? That sounds intense.
It is. The idea of neatly splitting time, career, leisure, family, hobbies equally. For the truly ambitious, that's a recipe for average. For
Right.
settling.
So it's not about burnout, but focus.
Exactly. It's not unhealthy workaholism. It's intelligent, extreme focus. Successful people, the ones who achieve big things, they don't divide time evenly. They pour the vast majority of their energy, focus, and time into what matters most for their main goal.
They prioritize ruthlessly.
Fiercely. The book uses that stark example. Elon Musk didn't build Tesla by watching YouTube. He stacked credits, while others stacked excuses. It's about being unbalanced in the right way, channeling it into hyperproductive credits, recognizing it's often a temporary, necessary sacrifice for a bigger future payoff.
Deciding where to be unbalanced, not just drifting into it.
Precisely. Being unbalanced for something specific.
Okay, so if balance is a myth for high achievers and the enemy is within, how do we actually cut the debits? How do we get strategically unbalanced?
Right onto the actionable, no-compromise steps from Chapter 2. Designed to stop the bleeding immediately. First, and probably the most impactful for most people, kill the time sucks.
How?
The big one. Delete social media apps from your phone. For 30 days, full stop.
Just delete them. Wow.
It's a directive, not a suggestion. If work requires them, use a desktop only. Trick 30-minute timer. Non-negotiable.
What's the effect beyond saving hours?
The book highlights the incredible freeing of mental space. That constant buzz of notifications, the urge to check, the energy drain from comparisons, gone. It creates a void. Mental space you can then fill consciously with high-value credits. You can actually think clearly.
Like digital decluttering for the brain.
Exactly. Decades of it. Gone.
Okay, what's next?
Second step. Say no. Sounds simple, right? But it's incredibly hard for people conditioned to be agreeable, to avoid conflict.
Yeah, the people pleaser thing.
The book says, stop automatically saying yes to every invitation, every request, every distraction. Protect your time like you protect your bank account.
So the filter again, does it serve the North Star?
Precisely. If it's not a clear, undeniable credit towards your goal, you politely but firmly decline. It's not about being rude, it's strategic prioritization. Your time is finite. Every yes to non-credit is a no to something that truly matters for your future.
Okay, that makes sense. And the third step?
Create a no list. This isn't just mental. Physically write down 5 specific things you will stop doing immediately.
Like what?
Cordero gives examples. Scrolling X endlessly, binge-watching shows, oversleeping habitually.
Yes.
Things you know are debits for you personally.
And then what? Just having the list isn't enough, surely.
No. You post it where you will see it. Daily.
Yeah.
Fridge, bedside, computer monitor, phone lock screen. It's a constant visible reminder. An accountability check. Reinforces your commitment to cut those specific debits. Keeps you honest.
A visible declaration of war on bad habits.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Exactly that. 3, stacking the wins. Building your credit side.
Okay, so we've stopped the bleeding, cut the debits, hopefully. The next phase is obviously building, stacking credits. And the book really hammers home the power of small moves and consistency. Sounds basic, but it's where things often fall apart, right?
It's absolutely where the rubber meets the road. Cordero is crystal clear. Big wins come from small, consistent actions. Forget grand gestures or overnight miracles. They rarely happen, almost never last.
Right.
The law of accumulation thrives on momentum, generated by daily, incremental progress. Think about it. One good choice, repeated daily, without fail. That creates an unstoppable force over time, reshapes your life.
So small things matter hugely.
Immensely. The examples are simple but powerful. Reading just 10 pages a day seems tiny, but that's over 3,600 pages a year, maybe 12 books.
Wow, okay.
Hitting the gym consistently, even for short, focused sessions, dedicating 30 minutes to learn a valuable skill, these seem small on a random Tuesday morning.
The long-term
Is
impact.
massive. The book puts it bluntly, a year from now, you could be a different person, or you could be the same loser whining about bad luck. It challenges that idea that big change needs massive initial effort.
It's the compounding of small, sustained efforts, the daily drip-carving canyon.
Exactly. That's the engine.
Which leads us nicely to the 1% rule. That concept has gained traction, and it's genuinely fascinating when you really grasp it. How tiny improvements add up.
It really is mind-blowing. The 1% rule is key to building credits without getting overwhelmed. The idea is simple. Don't aim to overhaul everything overnight. That leads to burnout, giving up.
Yeah, been there.
Instead, just aim to be 1% better. Do 1% more. Optimize 1% of your process every day. It feels achievable even on bad days, even with zero motivation, constant, subtle forward motion.
Liberating, in a way.
Totally. And the book gives those microcredit examples. Instead of 0 pages, read 10. Instead of nothing, 10 push-ups. Instead of scrolling, write 100 words.
Tiny shifts.
Tiny shifts, but they're the engine. Cordero stresses they add up exponentially faster than you perceive. The power is consistency. Improve 1% daily. That's 1.01 times better each day, over a year.
The math gets crazy, right?
Nearly 3,800% improvement. You could be 38 times better, more skilled, more secure, healthier. Just from tiny, consistent shifts. That's the hidden magic. It's not one giant leap, it's thousands of tiny steps.
Okay, that compounding math is powerful. And it underlines why consistency is king. But let's be real, simple isn't easy. Consistency is hard. Life happens. How does the book suggest we ensure these microcredits actually happen day after day?
Right, the practical how-to. This is where Cordero gives those no-nonsense strategies for building momentum. First, the morning power hour.
Tell me more.
Dedicate the very first hour. No phone, no distractions, no email, no news. Sacred time. Reserved purely for a high-impact credit activity aligned with your North Star.
Like learning, exercise, deep work.
Exactly. Why the morning? Because it sets the tone. Guarantees one big credit banked before the day's chaos hits. You start on offense, not defense. Builds confidence.
Okay, morning power hour. Got it. What else?
Second, skill stack. Pick one specific skill, directly linked to your North Star. Coding, sales, writing, data analysis, whatever it is.
And then?
Commit 30 dedicated minutes every single day. Learning or practicing, reading, courses, hands-on application. And crucially, track your progress weekly, rigorously.
That was a deliberate practice.
Deliberate, consistent effort transforms you into a master over time, builds real assets, increases your value. It's focused self-improvement, not just passive info consumption.
Makes sense. And the third strategy, this one sounded a bit intense.
Ah, yes. The accountability system. This
Yep.
isn't gentle encouragement. It's finding a partner or group who will genuinely, unflinchingly call you out if you slack.
Call you out.
Yep. The book states very directly, shame is a great motivator.
Wow. That's uncomfortable. We usually try to avoid shame. Cordero says use it, like those old school coaches yelling at you.
Kind of, yeah. It sounds counterintuitive, but think about it. Why does external pressure sometimes work when willpower fails? You openly share your goals and weekly progress, knowing someone else is watching and will confront you if you drop the ball.
Creates pressure.
External, undeniable pressure overcomes internal resistance. It moves accountability from optional to non-negotiable. Leverages that primal social programming, not wanting to look foolish or weak, to drive consistent action.
Okay. Using psychology against yourself, in a way.
Exactly. It works because it taps into something fundamental. 4. The unstoppable force. Momentum is your superpower.
So consistent action, even small, painful action sometimes, builds something powerful. And it's fascinating how success or failure builds on itself, like a snowball. The book calls momentum your superpower.
It really is the ultimate multiplier.
Yeah.
Once you start stacking credits consistently, even tiny ones, this powerful self-reinforcing force kicks in. Each positive action makes the next one easier.
A positive feedback loop.
Exactly.
Well,
Success breeds success. Accomplishment fuels more accomplishment. You start feeling good, seeing progress, and that fuels the desire to continue. It's why people who get into a gym habit find it easier to keep going.
you're building pathways.
Mental and physical pathways, yeah. Neural networks favoring productive behavior.
But the flip side is dangerous too, right? The negative momentum.
Oh, hugely dangerous. The book hits this hard. Debits breed more debits. That one skipped workout, that late-night scroll session, procrastinating just once. It
A
cascades.
slippery slope.
Very. A lazy day turns into a lazy week, then month. Before you know it, you're stuck in inaction. The negative inertia pulls you further from your goals, making it harder to get back. The gap feels huge.
So what's the imperative?
Break the cycle. Force yourself to act, even when you don't feel like it. Acknowledge the struggle, but intervene deliberately. Disrupt negative patterns before they become entrenched defaults.
Which challenges that common idea about needing willpower or motivation, right? The book calls it the discipline myth. Most of us wait for motivation.
Yes, and that's a crucial insight, the discipline myth. It frees you from self-blame. Many fail because they wait for motivation or think success needs some innate iron will you either have or don't.
A fatal misconception.
A comforting lie, really. Discipline, as Cordero defines it, isn't about feeling energized daily. It's about building robust systems and habits that make success almost inevitable, regardless of your mood or energy.
Systems over feelings.
Because motivation is flaky. Systems are reliable. The powerful insight. Stop waiting for motivation. It's a myth. Act first, and the feelings follow.
Flip it completely.
Totally. Most think, feel good, act, Cordero says. Act, feel good. Taking that small credit, even resisting it, creates accomplishment, builds momentum, generates the motivation for the next step. Behavior leads emotion.
Shifts power from unreliable feelings to controllable systems.
You don't need a feeling. You need a system.
Okay, so if motivation's a myth and willpower's finite, what are the practical systems? How do we build this unstoppable momentum?
Chapter 4 gives the blueprint. First, create triggers. Leverage existing habits to anchor new, desired credits.
How does that work?
Simple principle. Pair a new habit with an existing automatic one. Book suggests, after brushing teeth, do 5 minutes journaling. Or, when you pour coffee, do 10 push-ups.
Ah, piggybacking habit.
Exactly. It eliminates the need for willpower because the old habit triggers the new one automatically. Builds credits into your routine almost effortlessly.
Clever. What's next?
Second, track your streak. Use a calendar, app, whiteboard, whatever works. Visibly mark every day you complete a key action. Gym, reading, goal work.
And the goal?
Singular. Don't break the chain. Seeing that continuous line of X's creates a powerful visual incentive, a psychological drive. You develop an aversion to breaking the streak.
Uses our desire for completion.
Turns it into an engine for progress. Surprisingly potent motivator, even on off days.
Okay, triggers, tracking. What's the third system?
Third, reward the grind. Often overlooked. After hitting a milestone, say, 30 days of consistent credits, reward yourself. Absolutely.
But with a catch, right?
Crucial catch. The reward must be meaningful but not destructive. Cordero is blunt. Absolutely no binge watching.
Okay, why?
The reward should reinforce the positive behavior, celebrate progress, not undermine it by leading you back to debits or time sucks. No derailing the momentum you built.
So what kind of reward?
Something genuinely rejuvenating or satisfying that doesn't sabotage you. A nice meal out, a relevant new book, a relaxing weekend trip, new gear for a hobby, but never a return to the debits you're escaping. The reward should be a credit that fuels more credits. V, the ultimate payoff. Compounding your life.
So connecting all this, the relentless credits, cutting the debits, the bigger picture emerges. This isn't about quick fixes at all. It's truly the long game.
Absolutely. The real massive payoff comes through the compound effect. This is where the true magic happens, but it demands patience, consistency, commitment to the process.
It's not linear.
Not at all. Small credits today, learning, saving small amounts, exercising, they don't just add up, they compound, like interest, snowballing into massive disproportionate results over years, decades.
The book has stats on this, right?
Powerful ones, drives it home. Think. A single dollar saved daily at 8% interest becomes $22,000 in 20 years. Just $1 a day.
It's incredible.
Or knowledge. A page read daily becomes 12 full books a year. Imagine the depth perspective advantage from reading 12 impactful books annually, year after year.
Yeah.
The warning is equally stark. Stop chasing quick wins. They're almost always scams, designed to take your time, money, hope, without delivering real, sustainable results.
No shortcuts to real value.
None. True wealth, health, mastery, freedom. They're all products of relentless, patient, consistent accumulation. Period.
But society pushes instant gratification so hard. The quick fix, the easy button. How do we avoid those traps? The ones that look like credits but are really debits.
Cordero is direct about avoiding the traps. He says society's ecosystem is often built around instant gratification, bombards us with appealing but destructive shortcuts.
Like what, specifically?
Lotteries promising easy wealth, endless get-rich-quick schemes online, constantly shifting fad diets promising rapid results with no discipline or lifestyle change.
Right. Stuff that preys on desperation.
Exactly. They're not real paths. The book calls them debits disguised as credits. They trick you, make you think you're taking a shortcut, but they drain your resources, money, time, energy, with no real return. Ultimate negative compounders.
So what's the alternative? The boring truth.
The boring truth of real, enduring success, as Cordero presents it, is stark. Not glamorous, not instant. It's simply showing up every day, doing the consistent, often mundane work, and trusting the quiet, relentless process of accumulation.
Yeah, magic pill.
No magic diet pill bypasses healthy eating and exercise. No secret investment trick replaces consistent saving and smart investing. It's embracing the slow, steady, consistent, often uncomfortable grind. That's where the power is.
Okay, so for that long game, for truly compounding our lives, what are the final actionable steps, the ones that ensure we're building credits that pay off way down the line?
The last chapter gives 3 critical long-game actions. First, often surprisingly overlooked, invest in assets, not just skills or habits, tangible financial assets that grow.
Like stocks, real estate.
Stocks, real estate, your own business. Start putting money into them, even small amounts, $10 a month. It compounds significantly over decades.
What if you don't know where to start?
Book suggests researching broad market index funds, solid passive start. Or consult a legitimate, fee-only financial advisor for a personalized plan. Make your money work for you. Accumulate financial credits while you sleep.
Yeah.
Get your financial ledger solidly black.
Okay. Invest in assets. What's second?
Second, health is wealth. Your body isn't just important, it's the foundation, the non-negotiable base for all other accumulation.
If health fails, everything else follows.
Your capacity to earn, learn, contribute, enjoy life, it all crumbles. The instruction, commit to at least 1 daily health credit. Walk 10,000 steps. Cut sugar, lift weights, something consistent.
Keep the foundation strong.
These small health credits ensure you remain robust, resilient, able to sustain the effort needed for everything else. Neglecting health is a massive long-term debit, wipes out other gains, ultimate self-sabotage.
Got it. Health is foundational. And the final step.
Third, review and adjust. This isn't set it and forget it, it's dynamic. Every 90 days, quarterly, conduct a thorough, brutally honest review of your ledger.
Look back at the credits and debits.
Exactly. What's working? What's moving the North Star forward? What isn't? What old debits crept back? What new ones appeared? Be honest. Data-driven.
And then?
Directive is clear. Double down on credits, eliminate debits. This iterative, disciplined review and course correction is vital for long-term growth. Keeps you focused, adapting, never drifting off course. Outro.
Well, this deep dive into A.Cordero's The Law of Accumulation, it really is a challenge, isn't it? Not a pep talk, unapologetically direct about responsibility.
Leaves zero room for doubt. The core truth, the brutal truth really is, the law of accumulation doesn't care about your feelings, your past, or your excuses.
Cold, hard truth.
It's a cold, hard, impartial truth.
Yeah.
Everything you do counts, and it's either building you up or tearing you down. No judgment from the law itself, just cause and effect.
You are, as the book says, the accountant of your own life. Every hour, every choice, an entry.
So for you listening right now, here's that final provocative thought to really sit with and act on. Open your ledger.
Don't look away.
Look, honestly, last 24 hours, how many credits did you earn? How many debits did you rack up? Be ruthlessly honest.
And if you don't like the math?
Change it. The power is entirely yours, and the time is right now, not Monday, not New Year's, not when you feel like it. Pick one action from this deep dive.
Just one thing.
One thing. Morning power hour, skill to learn. Time suck to kill. And do it today, not tomorrow, today.
Because the ledger is always open.
And the clock is always ticking.
Yeah, make it count. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.